We all know what it's like to have somebody's energy in our space that we're just not that into. It's this overwhelming feeling of ick. Like you just can't shake them fast enough. It's like, ugh, give me my space. Like when their text appears, you cringe a little inside. This is exactly what it feels like for the person you're obsessing over. They feel you. Everything I just said about how you feel when somebody is like so in your space, that's how somebody feels when you start obsessing over them. To some level, we all feel each other. We can all feel each other's energy. So if you are being overbearing and obsessively thinking about someone, your energy is like this is them. Your energy is like this towards them. So that's why they feel no inclination to call you, text you, or reach out to you, because they feel you so much in their space. It's like, I am not without this person. This person is with me. They don't feel that absence to the point where they can actually breathe and get the chance to be like, oh, hey, I wonder how they're doing. Let me call them. If you find yourself obsessing over somebody, it's the number one sign that you are anxiously attached. No longer is this obsession really about the other person, but it's about the unhealed trauma you have with a parent figure. You are holding this person so high on a pedestal that they have the power to hurt you or to heal you. By obsessively waiting for a response by this person or for them to ask you to hang out, you've completely lost your space and who you are. Now you're just so zoomed in and focused on this person that you are no longer you. You are just a fragment of you, an unhealed version of you chasing after something that's going to give you relief. You put yourself under the mercy of somebody who isn't capable of giving you everything that you need. When you're obsessively thinking about someone, you are no longer thinking rationally. Now that the trauma has taken over, you think that this person is out to get you, that they are doing everything in their power to hurt you, because if you're not hearing from them, that's like their way of giving you the cold shoulder. But in actuality, this person's probably just taking care of themselves and doing the best that they can. But in our head, when it's a trauma response, we think of ourselves as this little child who is incapable of understanding the complex relationships with our parents. And you're taking those same wounds and putting it on this person. Like, why isn't this person reaching out? What are they doing right now? Are they happy in the relationship? Are they thinking about me? That's no longer rational. That is the trauma that is speaking. A rational person would think, oh, they haven't responded. They must be at work. Oh, they haven't responded. They must have been really tired, or whatever it is. A rational person is not going to attack the other person and make them wrong, or attack themselves and make themselves wrong. People have their own separate lives, and it's okay not to know what somebody is doing, thinking, or feeling 24/7. That's our own job. We need to be so in tune with our own needs that we know how we feel in that time. It's not our responsibility to know how another person is feeling. No one wants to carry another person. It's exhausting to give constant reassurance. We are all dealing with navigating on our own life path journey, and if someone is frantically obsessing over you and your whereabouts and what you're doing, it gets really tiring. When you start to rely so much on another person's input to feel good, the other person will start to feel like you're nagging them, because you'll ask things like, where are you? What are you doing? Why did you cancel plans? Am I not important to you? Like, it's always a confrontation, because it's like your unhealed wounds are coming out and making that person wrong because they hurt you. They're lighting up a wound inside of you that you have not yet looked at or healed. You're so wrapped up in needing confirmation from them, confirmation that they are happy, they do like your company, they do see a future with you, whatever it is, that you begin to only feel relief when you know that they are confident in this relationship or they feel secure or happy in it. That's when you can actually relax until they miss a call from you. Then the whole cycle starts all over again. And this is just not about the other person. I know so many times we want to point fingers and say, well, they didn't call, they didn't do this, they didn't do X, Y, Z, right? But it's really you that needs the healing. Why is it that if somebody misses one text from you, you feel like your whole world is crumbling? You feel like you need to get to the bottom of this and start problem solving. That is not a normal response in relationships. Somebody who is secure in who they are will not point fingers, blame everything. No, they will think rationally about things. But once your trauma takes over and the unhealed parts of you take over, that's when you become this obsessive, anxiously attached person in the relationship. This is about you needing to heal and learn how to self-soothe and self-regulate. The other person is not going to save you. They are not going to be the reason or the proof that you are finally lovable or that you are worthy. That has to come from within. And it's so interesting because we think we want that. We think we want somebody to come and save us and to tell us we are lovable, that we are worthy. But how many times have you rejected the good guy because of that reason? Here he comes like thinking you're amazing and there's nothing wrong with you and they love you just how you are. You can't accept that. You're like, this person's weird, or they're playing me. They're just telling me what I want to hear. Like, you just can't accept somebody just loving you how you are. So you go back to what's comfortable, to the avoidant attached person, because they're inconsistent and they kind of reaffirm your belief that you are unworthy and unvaluable. So in order to really attract a secure person and to accept a love from a secure person, you have to become secure within yourself and get out of this perpetual cycle of being the cat and the mouse, the anxious attachment with the avoidant attachment. Once we feel safe in our own company, we will begin to trust others. Because when we can trust ourselves that we know how to say yes to people who are good for us and say no to people who don't serve us, you will trust people more openly. You will welcome people in until they show you to be untrustworthy. You will be able to navigate through people because you can't really control the type of people you meet, the type of people you're attracted to, but you can control how long you let these people stay in your life. Obsessing over somebody is just an overall waste of time. When you're obsessing over somebody, you waste so much time building a future, and it's so focused on keeping this person and how can I keep this person in my life and I need them. You have completely lost your identity. You have completely lost the true meaning of your own special life. You did not come here to obsess over some person to build a future with. No, you came here to create a life that you love for yourself. And in the process, meet somebody that matches you where you're at and you guys can co-create an even better life together. But it has to start with you. You have to start creating a life of your dreams. You have to start going towards things that interest you, because just chasing that man is going to waste and dwindle your time away. If they cannot offer you what you need in the beginning, they will surely not be able to offer you what you need 3 years down the line, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. But it's not until you take the reins in your own life and you start taking care of yourself and no longer obsessing over somebody will you actually create a life you're happy in. Because obsessing over somebody is so exhausting. It is so draining to constantly need to know if someone else is okay for you to be okay. Just like any obsession, it has control over you. You are no longer in control when you are obsessed. You lose your attraction too. Nobody is attractive when they're obsessing over somebody. Just like when you get that text from somebody who just feels like that, you contract. It's only when people are truly passionate about the lives they're living, when they're truly inspired day to day and wanting to create a life that they love, those people are attractive. Those people are magnetic, not the one who's chasing their partner like a lost little puppy dog. And please don't make the mistake of working on yourself in order for that person to love you even more. I had done this. I thought, oh, if I could just get in touch with my feminine energy in my past relationship, then everything will be great. Everything will be solved. He'll finally love me in the way I want him to. No, it doesn't work like that, because you're learning and growing, but you're constantly checking if they're seeing your own growth, like if they like what you're doing, like you're constantly still doing it for their validation, but you can't do it out of a place of thinking that one person you're obsessing over is going to love you more because you do it, because they probably won't even notice. Trust me, perfecting who you are will never make someone who's not right for you right for you. You have to start healing and pursuing your own dreams for yourself and only for you. And if you are having trouble with that first step, write a list of all the ways this person has hurt you. Now look at that list. Would you want your best friend or someone you love to date someone like that? If you had a friend who came to you and was like, look, this person does all this to me, would you be like, oh yes, keep pursuing them, keep chasing them, they'll change? No. Well, first you'd probably be infuriated that someone's treating your friend like that. And then you'd say, you need to get out of that. You need to detach from this person and you need to start taking care of yourself. This person's not going to change. It's so easy to see, the relationship mistakes of our friends, but when it's ourselves, it's harder to see, right? Because we're right in it and it's like We're blinded by whatever attachment style we have. And that will be a quick way to redirect your energy to start focusing on yourself. You start taking online courses. You start learning a new language. You start joining a sport group that interests you. Just try new things, redirecting your attention towards yourself, and start by healing. Healing why you think you deserve this kind of treatment from somebody. Healing why you do get anxiously attached, why you are obsessive over somebody. Looking at that instead of looking at that person. Because you're going to keep yourself in that same cycle until you do start to heal. You are worthy of someone who can match you where you're at, reaffirm, that you are lovable, and you are worthy of love, and treat you with love. But you have to decide that for yourself first, because you're not going to be able to accept that love until you give it to yourself. As cliche as it is, it's so true.